Welcome back, guys. Alright, so start this off. We've been having some really wild weather lately in California, so that's why all that was covered up. Um, you're going to see me take a lot of measurements in this video, so be prepared. Alright, so that in there is 109 inches. These slabs are 110 inches. So we're going to measure from that end, because we're going to leave this end down here, factory edge, because that's going to butt up against the other factory edge. So this one will get hidden by the backsplash. So if I make any mistakes cutting it, it won't be a big issue. So we're going to cut this one first. So I got to cut an inch off. I think this mark is probably right, but I'm going to double check because I've been wrong before. Then once we get that done, then I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to figure out a way to do some bracing. I'm not real sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but I got to put some bracing up underneath here because I'm going to cut the sink out. I've been putting this off till the end, partially because I don't have all the tooling yet. I'm waiting on that tooling to come in the mail today. Second thing is I'm super nervous. I don't have a suction cup bar and a lot of these things that some of the professionals have, and so I'm gonna have to try to wing it. I've seen some guys do some stuff where they just brace it with square tubing or wood or something like that. So I'm gonna modify something so that I don't mar the edge with metal, but I also want something rigid like metal for when I push this thing up to the wall. So fingers crossed this works the way that I want it to work. Yeah, I don't, there's not much more to say other than that. So, and that was a lot of fancy talk because I broke it. Didn't matter what I did. It already had developed a crack in it at some point. I don't know if I had it sitting unlevel on these tables or what, but it developed a crack. And the people that I had helping me, we were trying to figure something out, and it didn't work. And as soon as we picked up on it, it cracked. So didn't have to worry about it. I drilled the holes, took it apart in 3 pieces, and we put it in the house. So that's just a spoiler alert, I guess you could say. So here I'm taking all my measurements. I screwed up on that island big time, and I don't want to have a repeat of that. So measure 27 times, cut once, because granite is expensive, and your wife may get unhappy if you cut it wrong. All right, I've contemplated enough. So let's see. Let's stand behind the camera. All right, so there's my diagram. Like I said, I have the paper drawings that came with the sink that I'm supposed to tape down. We're gonna go out there, verify all these measurements. So 41 1/4, 67 1/4, 26. So those 3 match up. Those are my biggest concerns. This one over here, it could be right. It's gonna be close. I'm basically gonna make all of my measurements based on these 3 because the existing granite slab, which is this one right here, that one, we know for a fact is up against the wall. It's in place, everything else. That over there, if I'm off a little bit, I want it to be on the sink. I'm not so much worried about the wall. The wall is not straight, first off, because 100-year-old house. Second off, I left myself a little bit of a gap in the wood and in the granite, and so I have some movement to go back and forth. So I'm gonna go make my cuts.
More and more measuring. This slab was pretty tedious. Transferring cuts up and down, and then having to polish and do all of that. And I also struggled with the polishing aspect of all of this too. I cut this out, put it on my marks, did everything, and still it didn't 100% come out the way that I had envisioned it. And I have a whole lot more respect for Granite installers.
Alright, so here it is right here. No going back. I marked out, I don't know if you can see it. So I marked out all the lines in pencil all the way down, all my arcs that way, because this paper is probably just gonna fly away. Yeah. Let's hope this goes the way we want it to go.
So here you're gonna see me lift up the slab and put these 2x4s underneath there. Now that was my thinking on that was to get it already elevated so that it would make it easier to be able to clamp something in and not try to be moving that once this whole big huge piece had been cut out of there.
Alright guys, well, so all this is cut, all that is cut, all that is cut. Sorry about the shadows. It's sunny outside and that's where I'm working. So right here I can't cut, and right there I can't cut. So I guess I'll have to head off to the hardware store and see if there's something that I can get in there and cut those. I mean, I guess I could come out here and cut way out. That way the bit would go down far enough, but that seems like a lot of excessive cutting and then having to try to cut in to get to that radius. I don't think that's the way to go. So I am going to go see if I can figure something else out.
So as you can see here in big bold letters, I didn't. I bought that saw blade for the Sawzall, and it, man, it cut, but it didn't cut. Man, it was a pain in the butt. It's a diamond tipped saw blade. I had that, and then I also had one for my jigsaw, and it didn't work either. So here you're gonna see the culmination of the most aggravating thing that I did this entire process, and that is installing, making bad cuts, all of it. Polishing the side of Granite with that polishing pad on the drill was irritating, to say the least. I have a profound respect for these Granite installers because I don't know how they do it. I tried every which way to do it. I went from rough to smooth, or from heavy grit to, I think 6,000 grit is what I ended up at in the end. And I fought it and fought it and fought it. I have little skips in there. I made divots where I don't even know how I did it. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere at this point right here is where I probably started cracking that piece. And yeah, if you ever come over and you see this, to any of my friends that actually watch this channel, you might not ever notice it. and you might not notice the cracks because I was able to kind of conceal them pretty well. But man, like it eats at me every time that I'm up there. I can see it and just like, man, it's smooth, like glass smooth, except for the fact that there's divots every which way. So yeah, profound respect for Granite installers. And while you can do this, I'm pretty certain that it's a doable thing. Doing that front apron sink the way that I did and all the rest of it, it really created a lot of underlying problems that I was unable to correct.
All right, so I'm down to 200 on my machine sanding. I've got some nicks up here that I'm gonna slowly start buffing out, but I gotta go to 6,000 anyways, so I'm gonna take it all the way down. If those little rough spots don't come out, then we will go back down to wherever I need to get these out. I got one across that crack, which I don't think I can really do anything about, and I got one deep one right there, and then some little skips all the way across the top. So we're making progress. This thing's a lot more sturdy than I thought. I don't know when the camera died. I just looked up and noticed the battery was dead. But I was able to put a brace across this and lift it up so that I could take these 2x4s, get them out of the way. What's up, everybody? So this is where it all went bad. After I got done with this, we put some bracing up there. It didn't work. The slab broke right back behind the sink. I was able to save all the small pieces and do all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it wasn't savable. So I installed it, and where it broke at, I had already drilled the holes for the sink. So it's hideable, or I guess that's the best word for it. It's not really noticeable. If I go point it out to you at this point right now, I think that you could see it. Once I do a little bit more fine tuning with the epoxy that I've got to put in all of the seams, I'm pretty sure that I could probably hide it 95%. So it looks good. It's serviceable. It's gonna last a long time. I put everything back, the way that I could, but it wasn't worth videotaping. Nobody needs to see the frustration that I had after taking the better part of, I don't know, 5 hours or 6 hours of my day measuring, cutting, doing all that kind of stuff. And it's not the people that helped me move it. It's not their fault. I'm not taking it out on anybody. I didn't have the proper tools. I didn't have the crossbar to do that. And having that front apron farmhouse sink just didn't play to my advantages. So it's done. It's installed. Next video, I'll do a quick run through of everything. Like I said, I got a little bit of tweaking that I've got to do. I might release a video middle of next week and get this thing all wrapped up, buttoned up, go back to woodworking. I'm not going to include the video of the bar top in here. I was thinking about doing that, and I recorded some stuff to go along with that, but I think I'm going to save that for my final walkthrough. You guys can see all of that kind of stuff. It ties that whole room together, and it's been nice to sit at for the last couple of days and have breakfast and watch a little bit of TV on the wall. I mounted the TV that was up on the fridge in the previous videos that you've seen. Shiplapped that whole wall. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because it's our house, but it came out better than I could have hoped for. So with that, you guys have a wonderful weekend, because I'm going to try to drop this in the next half hour. And
yeah, I don't have much more to say. I hope everybody's doing okay in quarantine. And like I said before, just take the time with your family, you know. I know that it can be hectic and all of that, being that you're around each other 24/7, but go on a walk. Go go do something. And if you're going to be there cooped up at the house, get out in the shop and build something cool. You know, that's kind of our motto is we build cool stuff. I haven't done it in a while because of this kitchen project, but we still try. You guys have a good one. Bye.